Welcome to a journey through the shadows of myth and reality, where we'll uncover the enigma of werewolves. From ancient origins to their portrayal in modern culture, werewolves have been a source of fear and fascination for centuries. Join us as we delve into their history, folklore, real-life accounts, characteristics, and even hypothetical survival tips, all while exploring the scientific perspectives that attempt to demystify these legendary creatures. Chapter 1: History and Origins. Our journey begins in ancient times, where the earliest whispers of werewolves emerged. The myth of the werewolf can be traced back to ancient Greece and Rome. In Greek mythology, the story of Lycaon, a king transformed into a wolf by Zeus as punishment for his wickedness, is one of the earliest references. The Romans also had their own tales, often involving werewolves as creatures of the night, haunting the countryside. But the werewolf myth is not confined to Europe. In various cultures worldwide, shapeshifters and wolf-like beings have been part of the lore. The Norse had the legend of the Ulfnar, fierce warriors who fought in a state of animalistic frenzy, believed to be able to transform into wolves. Similarly, Native American tribes have stories of skinwalkers, beings with the ability to transform into animals, including wolves. Chapter 2: Mythology and Folklore. As we move through the ages, werewolves became entrenched in European folklore. During the medieval period, the fear of werewolves reached its peak. The belief in lycanthropy, the ability to transform into a wolf, led to numerous witch hunts and trials. People accused of being werewolves were often subjected to brutal interrogations and executions. Folklore from different regions adds rich detail to the werewolf myth. In France, the werewolf, or loup-garou, was a common character in village stories. In Eastern Europe, the folkadlak or voerdelak was feared as a creature that could turn others into wolves through a bite. These tales often shared common themes of transformation, curses, and the struggle between human and beast. Chapter 3: Characteristics of werewolves. 1. Transformation. Werewolves are typically humans who can transform into wolves or wolf-like creatures. This transformation can be triggered by various means, such as the full moon, a curse, or a magical item. 2. Appearance. In their transformed state, werewolves often have a blend of human and wolf features. They might have fur, sharp claws, fangs, and glowing eyes, while retaining some human characteristics like standing on two legs. 3. Strength and speed. Werewolves possess superhuman strength and speed, far exceeding that of both normal humans and wolves. This makes them formidable predators. 4. Enhanced senses. Werewolves have heightened senses, especially their sense of smell, hearing, and night vision. These abilities make them excellent hunters. 5. Regeneration. Many stories attribute werewolves with the ability to heal rapidly from injuries. This regenerative power makes them difficult to kill. 6. Vulnerability to silver. A common trait in many myths is that werewolves are vulnerable to silver. Silver bullets, weapons, or even silver in contact with their skin can harm or kill them. 7. Aggression and bloodlust. Werewolves are often depicted as having uncontrollable aggression and a thirst for blood, especially during their transformation. This makes them dangerous and unpredictable. 8. Dual nature. Werewolves struggle with their dual nature, battling the human conscience against the animalistic instincts. This inner conflict is a central theme in many werewolf stories. 9. Immortality or longevity. Some versions of the werewolf myth grant them immortality or extended lifespans, though this is not universal. 10. Contagion. The curse of the werewolf can be spread through a bite or scratch, passing the condition to others and creating more werewolves. Chapter 4: Real-life accounts. Despite being mythological creatures, there have been numerous real-life accounts of werewolf sightings and experiences. Throughout history, individuals have claimed to have seen or encountered werewolves. Some of these stories are rooted in local folklore, while others are more contemporary. 1. Peter Stump. One of the most famous cases is that of Peter Stump, a German farmer in the 16th century, who confessed under torture to being a werewolf and committing heinous crimes. His story, though likely a result of the intense witch hunts of the time, adds to the mystique of werewolves in history. 2. The Werewolf of Bedburg. In the late 16th century, the town of Bedburg, Germany, was terrorized by what was believed to be a werewolf. Many livestock and even villagers were brutally killed. The townspeople eventually captured Peter Stump, who confessed to the killings and claimed he had made a pact with the devil, receiving a belt that allowed him to transform into a wolf. 3. The Beast of Gevaudan. From 1764 to 1767, the province of Gevaudan in France was plagued by a series of brutal attacks by a creature described as a large wolf. The Beast of Gevaudan killed over 100 people, mostly women and children. Despite numerous attempts to kill the creature, it remained elusive for years, and its identity was never definitively determined, leading some to speculate it was a werewolf. 4. The Enfield Werewolf. In the 1970s, the London borough of Enfield experienced a series of strange occurrences involving a creature described as a werewolf. Witnesses reported seeing a large, wolf-like creature roaming the streets. Despite investigations, no definitive evidence was found, but the sightings added to the modern folklore of werewolves. 5. The Hull Werewolf. In 1966, near Hull, England, there were reports of a creature resembling a werewolf. Witnesses described it as a huge, hairy creature with glowing eyes. The sightings caused panic among locals, and although no physical evidence was found, the stories persist in local lore. 6. The Bray Road Beast. The Beast of Bray Road is a legendary creature reported in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, in the late 20th century. Described as a hairy, wolf-like creature with a muscular build, it has been the subject of numerous sightings. Witnesses reported walking on its hind legs and displaying intelligent behavior, leading many to speculate it could be a werewolf. 7. The Werewolf of Alaries. Manuel Blanco Romasanta, known as the Werewolf of Alaries, was a Spanish serial killer in the mid-19th century. He confessed to killing several people and claimed he was cursed to transform into a wolf. His case drew significant attention, blending the lines between criminal insanity and the supernatural. 8. The Werewolves of Ossory. In medieval Ireland, the Werewolves of Ossory were believed to be members of a cursed clan who could transform into wolves. These werewolves were said to have been part of a pagan sect before converting to Christianity. Their story is documented in several medieval texts, including the writings of Giraldus Cambrensis, a 12th century cleric. 9. The Livonian Werewolf. Thies of Kaltenbrunn, an elderly Livonian man, confessed in 1692 to being a werewolf. He claimed that werewolves were the hounds of God, who fought against witches and demons. Thies's story is unique because it portrayed werewolves as protectors rather than malevolent creatures. 10. The Werewolf of Ansbach. In the 17th century, the town of Ansbach in Germany was terrorized by a creature believed to be a werewolf. The townspeople eventually killed a large wolf, dressed it in human clothes, and displayed it as the werewolf to reassure the populace. 11. The Moorbach Monster. In the late 1980s, near the town of Wittlich in Germany, U.S. military personnel stationed at a base reported sightings of a werewolf-like creature. The Moorbach Monster, as it came to be known, allegedly roams the forests and is linked to an old legend of a deserter from Napoleon's army who turned into a werewolf. 12. The Werewolf of Chalons. Gilles Garnier, known as the Werewolf of Dole, was a French hermit in the 16th century who confessed to being a werewolf and committing multiple murders. He claimed to have received an ointment from a spirit that allowed him to transform into a wolf. Garnier was convicted and executed for his crimes. Chapter 5: How to determine if someone is a werewolf. Determining if someone is a werewolf is rooted in folklore, myth, and fictional narratives, and there is no scientific basis for such identification. However, certain signs and tests have been suggested. Physical signs. 1. Unusual hair growth, excessive hair growth, particularly on the palms and inside the ears. 2. Strange eyes, glowing or reflective eyes. 3. Sharp teeth and claws, unusually sharp teeth and nails. 4. Abrasions on the skin, scratches or scars that might result from transformations. 5. Unusual strength and agility, displaying strength or speed far beyond that of normal humans. 6. Heightened senses, demonstrating acute senses of smell, hearing, or sight. Behavioral signs. 1. Aggressive behavior, sudden bouts of aggression or a short temper. 2. Nighttime activity, frequenting the outdoors or disappearing at night, especially around the full moon. 3. Loner tendencies, preferring isolation or behaving secretively. 4. Animal-like behavior, exhibiting behaviors reminiscent of wolves, such as growling or howling. Folkloric tests. 1. Silver reaction, touching the person with a silver object to see if they react adversely. 2. Wolfsbane, placing wolfsbane near the suspected werewolf might elicit a reaction. 3. Mirror test, some folklore suggests that werewolves have no reflection or a distorted one. 4. Eye test, looking into a werewolf's eyes during transformation or around the full moon might reveal an animalistic nature. 5. Holy objects, werewolves are sometimes said to react negatively to holy objects like crosses or holy water. Chapter 6. Vulnerabilities and weaknesses. Werewolves are often depicted as nearly invincible, but various myths and stories highlight specific vulnerabilities and weaknesses. 1. Silver, the most well-known weakness. Silver bullets, weapons, or even direct contact with silver can harm or kill a werewolf. 2. Fire, like many supernatural beings, werewolves can be hurt or killed by fire. 3. Decapitation, severing the head from the body is a common method to ensure a werewolf is permanently defeated. 4. Wolfsbane, this plant is believed to repel werewolves or cause them harm. 5. Holy objects, in some myths, religious symbols or blessed items can ward off or harm werewolves. Chapter 7. Pop culture. Fast forward to modern times, werewolves have become iconic figures in pop culture. From the classic 1941 film, The Wolf Man, to the Twilight series, werewolves have captivated audiences in various forms. Television shows like Teen Wolf and The Originals have further popularized the werewolf myth, adding layers of complexity in character development. In literature, werewolves have been portrayed in diverse ways, from fearsome predators to tragic heroes. Authors like Anne Rice and Stephen King have contributed to the rich tapestry of werewolf stories, blending horror, fantasy, and human emotion. Chapter 8. Transformation lore. At the heart of the werewolf myth is the transformation. Different legends offer various explanations for how one becomes a werewolf. Some say it's a curse, others a voluntary transformation through rituals or potions. The full moon is a common trigger in many stories, believed to draw out the beast within. In medieval Europe, it was believed that wearing a wolf's skin or a magical belt could induce transformation. Some tales suggest that being bitten by a werewolf is enough to spread the curse. These diverse accounts add to the allure and mystery of werewolves, making their transformation a focal point of fascination. Chapter 9. Scientific perspectives. While the myth of werewolves is fascinating, modern science provides alternative explanations for the phenomena and behaviors attributed to them. Hypertrichosis. This rare genetic condition causes excessive hair growth all over the body, leading to the werewolf syndrome nickname. Individuals with hypertrichosis may have inspired some werewolf legends. Rabies. Rabies is a viral disease that affects the nervous system and can cause aggressive behavior and a fear of water, similar to the rabid behavior often attributed to werewolves. Clinical lycanthropy. This psychiatric syndrome involves a delusional belief that one can transform into an animal. People with clinical lycanthropy may genuinely believe they are werewolves. Porphyria. A group of disorders that affect the skin and nervous system, causing symptoms like sensitivity to light and disfigurement, which may have contributed to werewolf myths. Werewolves remain one of the most enduring and intriguing figures in folklore and popular culture. Their blend of human and animal traits, coupled with the themes of transformation and duality, continue to captivate our imagination. Whether seen as fearsome predators, tragic victims of a curse, or protectors against evil, werewolves symbolize the wild, untamed aspects of our nature and the eternal struggle between our civilized and primal selves. As we unravel the mysteries of werewolves, we also explore our deepest fears and fantasies. The werewolf myth endures because it taps into something universal within us, a fascination with the unknown, the monstrous, and the possibility that, beneath the surface, we all have a bit of the beast within us.